Hi everybody. So this is the time to learn some more things about the CodeIgniter. So actually you can see that this is the basic URL of the CodeIgniter. Okay, I understood. I just want to open the whole CodeIgniter in the coding panel. Actually, I'm just going to use the Sublime as the coding panel as the coding pad. I'm just using the Sublime because you know that if I just go to the folder of the CodeIgniter, so here you can see there are a lot of folders in the CodeIgniter folder: the application, the system, the user guide, which is really important. But we don't need this file right now throughout this course because I'm just guiding you everything which you need. By the way, you have the file and the index.php and etc. So actually there are a lot of files and we have to use many files in a single time. So exactly we need the coding software which supports the folders. So here I'm just clicking on open in a file and just opening the new folder, actually opening the folder. So here is the Ajax project. I'm just going to the CL and I'm just directly clicking on OK. I'm not going inside this any folder. Well, you can use any kind of coding panel, any kind of coding software as you just need, as you just like, but the Sublime is preferred, or the Optana. You can use the Optana as well. So I'm just closing this one. Okay, you can even use the Notepad++, but in that way you can have the problem to maintain the folders. So by the way, just leave that. So now the thing is that this is a basic CL, and if I just go to the browser, I just type the localhost and just type the CI, sorry, not the CL. Okay, I just type the CI and I just got this file, the welcome to CodeIgniter. That means if I just type the index.php or the HTML, actually this is the index.php. So now you can see that if I just type the CI then slash then index.php, then it's still I'm getting the same file, because exactly we just don't need to put the index.php or index.html file. It automatically detects by browser. So now when it has no problem if I just type the index.php, that means there is a kind of file inside the CI folder named index.php which has this data. Okay, so I'm just going to the Sublime back, and this is the CI and this is the index.php. Exactly, if I just click there now, where is the file, where is the text? Just like the that the welcome to CodeIgniter and the beautiful style, and there the page rendered in the seconds and the CodeIgniter vision, whatever. I'm just going to the Sublime here. Okay, now let's just find the data, the switch. There are a lot of functions. You can see that the if else features, the defiance, the require ones. But what is this? Where is the coding which I just requiring for? I was just searching for these code, these text, which is not there. Exactly, you can see that nothing in this file. So now, where is the file? Or actually, where is these data? These data is in the view folder that is called the MVC. Now, let's just turn the talk up on the MVC now. But before the MVC, I'm just going to teach you some basic things about the CodeIgniter's folder hierarchy. This is the user guide. You know that all these things which we just searched out on the internet here, after clicking on the documentation, we can get all that things here in the folder of this documentation. But exactly, we just don't need it, so I'm not gonna use this folder anymore. So let's just close it. By the way, this is a folder, the system folder, which has actually core features. Actually, the core features, the databases, the fonts, the helpers, libraries, etc. But actually we're just not gonna do anything with the system folder because this is the library folder actually of the CodeIgniter. Now where we just need to go to the application folder. I just click on the application. There is a config folder, the controllers folder, the model folder, the views folder. We will edit these folders a lot of times if you just want to work on the CodeIgniter. So actually the page and actually I'm just closing this one. Okay, now the thing we are just watching here, which was not in the index.php, so where is that? Okay, all that things are in the views folder. If I just click on views, now if I just click on the index, double click, okay, now still nothing there in the views index.html file. You can see that the 403 forbidden, Directory access is forbidden, so let's just close that and just click on the welcome message. Okay, the welcome message.php actually has all these text and its styling. If I just go there now, you can see that the base path, no direct script access allowed, or etc. Now there is a coding. Welcome to CodeIgniter. I'm just going down. Now you can see that welcome to CodeIgniter. The page you're looking at is being generated dynamically by the CodeIgniter. I'm just updating this text, okay? Welcome to CodeIgniter. Learn CodeIgniter um, by here. Okay, learn CodeIgniter here. Okay, with throw me. Okay, I can type anything. Throw Shazab Kumal with the cooperation of uh, my friend Joe. Now let's just save that and go to the browser back and let's just refresh. Now you can see that welcome to CodeIgniter. Learn CodeIgniter here through Shazab Kamal with the cooperation of Joe. That means it's working perfectly. But what is the thing is that actually why the data of the index.php, here I just type the index.php, but data isn't inside the index.php, the data is in the welcome message.php, and even I just didn't define the welcome message anywhere, so why my data is in that file. Now this is called the MVC, so let's just turn our talk to the MVC back. Actually, MVC is based on three things: the M, models, V, views, and C, controllers. If you just know about the MVC, that's pretty cool. But if you just don't know, so let's just listen my talking really carefully because this is really necessary, but really easy, okay? Now, the thing is that all these things which we just want to show in the front of the screen, actually just called the front end, must be inside the views. This is the basic methodology of the MVC and the CodeIgniter as well, because you know that the CodeIgniter is based on MVC. So now the second question is why I just got the access of this welcome message.php and how I got this page. Interesting. This depends on the C of the MVC. The C means the controllers, okay? Model, view, and controller. MVC. I'm just going to the controller, and here the controllers. If I just click on index.html, again I'm just getting the same thing. But if I just double click on the welcome message or welcome.php, so here you can see that the some kind of class has been generated here automatically. You can see that the welcome class and it's extending CI controller, and there is a function. You can see that this load view. Okay, I'm just redirecting the page to the views folder, and here the welcome message. Now what is the welcome message is? The welcome message is this file. So interestingly, I just don't need to define the .php. I just type the welcome message, and the actually no, not I, the CodeIgniter just mentioned the welcome message, and the don't need to mention the .php. So we're just watching the page here. I hope you found this interesting, but I'm just calling all these things again. I just want to clear you the MVC. Actually, how MVC works? When you just put any URL, the MVC goes to the controller. Okay, so interestingly, when I just type the CL, okay, so it just goes to the controllers. Here is the controller folder. Okay, and just find any file in the controller, and there is only one file inside the controller, so automatically it just got the access on this file automatically. Okay, now when the browser just come in the controller, not the browser, actually the server, okay, comes in the controller, it just finds a function here, the index. So in the same way, as you know that we just don't need to define the index.php in the URL, so exactly we just don't need to define the index function. Actually it based on the function, we just need to call the functions in the URL. Okay, so the index called automatically, and then when this index called on the URL, then you can see that this load view. Okay, I'm just telling that the welcome message should be load, which is in the view folder. Okay, so here they are just sending the URL to the views. You can see that first we just got the controllers folder, and controller folder we have a class which is just we can create the class, but we have to extend the CI controller class automatically, not automatically actually. We have to create the class and have to extend with this class, which is the pre-created class of the CodeIgniter. Okay, and the created class is the welcome. Okay, so now inside this class here you can see that the index function, which is actually redirecting our page to the welcome message.php, but we just don't need to define the .php. This is called the CodeIgniter. Now I'm just telling you the other thing, that we can create multiple functions inside the CI controller class, which is actually the welcome class. Now the second thing is, we can call the controller as well. If I just type here the welcome, let's just press enter and oh, wait for a while. Yes, actually we have we can't go directly to the welcome. We have to mention the index.php. Okay, now we can get the access on the welcome class, which is there. Oh, I just opened the Notepad++. By the way, I just don't need the Notepad++. I'm closing that. Now here the class is there, the welcome class. So if you just want to access on this class, first you have to mention the index.php, which is redirecting us everywhere. So let's just mention the index.php, then add the slash, and then we can type the function here, the controller here, the controller. Now we are in the same page because the welcome controller has only one thing. Now interestingly, if you just want to go inside this function, let's just type another slash and type index, nothing more than that, and press enter. Now you are in the index class, the index function, which is sending us to this page. Now as I said that we can create multiple functions, so I'm just actually copying this one, okay, the public, and actually creating this here and just updating the text index to, I'm just typing new, and here I'm not redirecting our page anywhere. I'm just typing the echo hello world, nothing more than that. Let's just save and go to the browser, refresh. Now still the index on the top. Okay, well, I got the error here. You can see that unexpected new. Oh yes, I got the problem. Actually the new is a reserved character, so we just can't create the function of the new. Here we can type the news, or we can type the new page or new funk. Okay, now save and go to the browser and refresh. Now again I just type the index, and now you can see that we just can access on the index.html, but I'm removing this one, and you know that this one is the folder, this is the main page, and then we just sent to the controller folder, and inside the controller there is a single controller which is inside the welcome.php. Now inside the controller we have two functions named new func and the index, so I'm just typing new func, press enter. Now I'm getting the hello world, because here in the new func I'm not redirecting the page to anywhere, I'm just showing the echo hello world. So this is the basic methodology of the MVC and the CodeIgniter. I hope you understood, and in the next class we'll just learn more and more. So exactly, if you think that it's looking a little bit tricky, so please listen this lecture again and again. But this lecture is really important, and believe me that this lecture is really easy. You just need to understand what I'm just telling to you. So guys, we'll meet again in the next class. Stay tuned and goodbye.